And here I'm leaving you with this particular interview where China's zero tariff policy for African products took effect in May, creating new opportunities for African exporters seeking access to the Chinese market. Months into the policy, what does it mean for Kenya, and how can Kenyan businesses position themselves to benefit? Our reporter Gladys Mungai spoke to Kenya's ambassador to China, Ambassador Willy Bett in Beijing, China, for insights. Here is that particular interview.
And welcome. This is an interview on the issue of zero tariff done in Beijing, China. On set, I'm joined by the Kenyan ambassador to the Republic, or to the People's Republic of China, Ambassador Willy Bett. Balozi, welcome so much on set.
Asante sana, na thank you for coming and having me discuss this important topic.
Thank you so much, sir, for according me this opportunity. And I think to start us off, my very first question would be, what does this zero tariff policy mean for Kenya? This agreement between China and Kenya, what is it in it for the Republic of Kenya?
Thank you, Gladys. When we talk of zero tariff, we mean we are talking of access of products and services from one country to the other. And in this case, we are talking about access of Kenyan products to the People's Republic of China. So what China has done is to exempt Kenyan and African countries, those who have diplomatic relationship with China, for them to bring in their products duty-free so that their products can be more competitive in this market. As you may know, Gladys, China is a very huge market. It's a market of 1.4 billion people. And this market is a market which is sought after by all countries globally. And for China to decide to offer this free market access, duty-free market access to Africa, and in this case Kenya, is a big deal. It's a big deal especially to Kenya because Kenya has been classified as a developing country, while our neighbors in the region are still under the least developed countries.
Sure.
So in that matter, it means they were accessing anyway this market duty-free because of their status. And Kenya was basically disadvantaged, which means Kenyan products were more expensive than our regional neighbors and any other country who is classified as least developed. And so it made our products less competitive. So this one to us is so important because now our products will be accessing this market again at no duty, which means we will all now be playing on a level playing ground with our neighbors and all those other countries who are least developed. And therefore we are expecting our products to be more competitive and we will access this market more than we've been accessing before.
Talk to us about the significance of the Kenya-China trade relations at this time.
Thank you. As we speak now, China is the biggest trading partner with Kenya at this point in time. And the only challenge we are facing is that the balance of trade between Kenya and China is not balanced, for that matter. It is in favor of China. What does that mean? It means that the amount of money or the amount of revenue Kenya gets for its exports is far much less than the amount of revenue China gets for exporting to Kenya. And therefore, we are talking of around 670 billion China is getting for its exports to Kenya. 670 billion Kenya shillings.
How then do we close the gap?
While Kenya gets around 17 billion.
Only
17 billion. So how do we bridge this gap?
Yes.
Is now what is happening. China have also noticed that, and it's not only on Kenya, it is generally on the entire Africa. So to bridge or to correct this situation, China offered this tariff-free access of African countries to this market. And therefore, when Kenya accesses this market under tariff-free, what I told you is our products will become competitive, we will export more here, we will earn more, that would definitely breach, not 100%, but it will correct the situation to some extent as we continue developing our production and accessing more this market.
Beyond the agricultural products that we are used to exporting, what other sectors in Kenya do you think could benefit from this zero tariff arrangement?
I think for a long time, Kenya has been exporting agricultural products, definitely, not only to China, but many other external countries. We have also been exporting in raw form. Basically, our agricultural products have been sent out just as raw materials for value addition in other countries. So what is happening now is we want to expand our exports. And this access to China is not only on agricultural products. Of course, we are an agro-based country. And therefore, the majority of what we'll be exporting definitely will be agriculture. But diversification or the tariff, the zero tariff policy is not only on agriculture, it is also all other products which we can supply as a country. In Kenya, I see a situation where we would need to do more in our mineral sector, in a situation where we organize our mineral sector to the extent that we get value for our minerals which we have by mapping and finding out how much mineral do we have in the country. And at this point, I want to commend the Ministry of Mining, because as we speak now, we see a lot of activity in the area of mapping of our minerals in the country. We have also seen advertisements for companies to come and invest in exploration and exploitation of minerals in Kenya. What would that mean? It would mean, therefore, we will have minerals also accessed in China as well as other countries, which would, in a big way, because of the value, improve the trade balance, which is in favor of China in that matter. And so we are expanding our portfolio so that we don't only rely on agriculture. The other issue which I want to bring at this point is we want to stop exporting agricultural products as raw materials. We want to value add fast before sending out. We need, instead of sending avocado, fresh avocados, we need to process it so that we can export. Instead of sending tea, which is bulk, we package it, we brand it, we make it Kenyan, and then send it out here, which is being consumed out here. It is known, it's tea from Kenya. Otherwise, as we speak now, it comes as bulk. People blend it here, they package it, they brand it, and then they sell it as their own tea. So that is some of the things we really need to do, and do urgently.
On that thought, I think it's a good argument, and it's a move that will benefit the Kenyan market and the common farmers to a great extent. However, my question from that point would be, now that we are seeing a situation where you as our ambassador and as our best bet in the Republic, on the People's Republic of China, is advocating for export of finished products, are we likely to see a situation where the government of Kenya enters into partnership with the People's Republic of China government, and we see establishment of industries back home to process the raw materials into value-added products ready for exports?
You're very right. Not seeing a situation where we have already partnered. We have already entered into agreements. We have MOUs with this country, Kenya and China, to partner in various sectors. But the most important in the partnership which we are now developing and which we are pushing as an embassy here, yes, is industrial development. What we are saying is what we import from China, we need it to be produced in the country. Mm-hmm. And most of those products, what we are saying is bring in technology, bring in equipment, bring in investment, come and produce for our market and also for the East and Central African market. Come and produce it for African market, because we are positioning Kenya as a gateway to Africa. And for sure, Kenya has all it takes to accommodate industrialization for products which can be sold throughout Africa. The other thing which we are saying is the products which are required in this market, which we may not have the capacity or the technology to produce, we are asking the Chinese entrepreneurs to come to Kenya to invest and export to this market. What that would do is we will get more value for the finished products. Secondly, we will have created employment for our people back home.
Yes.
So we are doing it in two ways. We want them to invest. We want the Chinese entrepreneurs to invest so that we can do export substitution. What we have been importing, or import substitution. What we have been importing, we produce locally. The other issue is what we have been sending as raw materials, we now add value and send it out here. And if we don't have technology, we bring in technology in form of investment.
From where you sit as the ambassador of Kenya to the People's Republic of China, what support do you think traders need to meet the standards set for this market?
Very important, yes. The Kenyan exporter needs to be supported in various ways. This market requires products at scale. This market requires products in a consistent manner. And this market requires quality products. So our export in Kenya need to be supported in the same three ways. One, to ensure that sensitization of our exporters is done and done very quickly. Number two, the production of products in Kenya should be increased and it should be produced in a quality manner. And so what we are saying is we need to improve production. We need to improve the capacity of some of the authorities in Kenya which manage quality, so that whatever comes to this country meets the quality standards. And so sensitization is critical. Capacity building for our institutions is very important. And then the Kenyan exporter need also to come to China and look at what the requirements are so that they can diversify their export portfolio from the Kenyan side. And so we need to support our people by sensitization. We need to talk to them. We need the authorities in Kenya to be key. Issues of traceability need to be emphasized so that whatever is coming to this market, we can tell where it is coming from, so that in case of anything, correction can be achieved so fast. And so, Gladys, that is very important to support our exporting community.
Thank you, Balozi, for that. You've spoken about a number of parameters that are supposed to be met by business traders seeking to export products. Could you possibly highlight to us a few of them, what someone seeking to export, be it the avocado, macadamia, or whatever product they want to export to the People's Republic of China? What are these standardization measures that they need to have achieved for their products to be considered adequate to have met the standards to be sold in China?
So what happens, Gladys, is we have a body here called GACC. This is the body responsible for accepting all the imports to this country. And so they have come up with a whole list of requirements for any commodity. You know, we have a lot of tariff lines. We have macadamia, we have avocados, we have tea, coffee, a whole list. And so in each of the lists, it has its requirements. So it's it's a list which is available to all our exporters. So what we are saying is they need to go through that list of requirements in terms of standard, issue of quality, how it should be packaged. So they have specified everything, the GSCC. And they have, and their requirements also is the origin. They need a certificate of origin to show that this product has actually come from Kenya. These are some of the processes which exporters need to know. And some of these processes have already been communicated. The certificate of origin, for example, is now being provided by the Kenya Revenue Authority. And this, the People's Republic of China Embassy in Nairobi have actually played a bigger role in ensuring that some of these products and processes is communicated to our relevant authorities so that we facilitate the zero tariff initiative to take off very fast. And I'm happy that it has really taken off and things have really been coming at an increased pace now to China. So these processes and procedures are available in the website of GSCC. And if you don't find it at the website of GSCC, the People's Republic of China Embassy in Nairobi are ready, and they have those procedures with them, and they can supply. And they have given it to the export authorities like KFIS and the other authorities in Kenya who are responsible for exporting products.
Balozi, from a number of forums that I have attended, or had the pleasure to attend, and you are among the main speakers, you have been highlighting your speech in line with the bottom-up economic model that you are implementing back home. How then do we ensure that Mama Mboga, or the farmer in Kirinyaga and Mombasa at the grassroots level, gets to benefit from this zero tariff arrangement away from the normal status quo where the big businesses are the ones having the huge chunk of these profits?
That is very critical, Gladys, because at the end of the day, we want the farmer or the producer to benefit from this zero tariff arrangement which has happened. If we take, for example, coffee or tea, the farmer is the one who is the owner of their coffee bushes or tea bushes. Now, if we can facilitate the farmer in a manner where the middlemen don't take the chunk of the benefits before it reaches the market, what we will see is that the bulk of the benefit will go into the farmer. So what we are opening is, we are saying, let the aggregation happen, because what happens in China is they need these products in scale or in bulk.
Yes.
And there will definitely be no one farmer who can satisfy that market. So there needs to be aggregation infrastructure in the country, which will help accumulate bits and pieces of these products from across the country. That should be so efficient, so that the bulk of the benefit does not go into the infrastructure and not to the farmer. So the onus now is on us in the country, and the ministry is concerned, say that we establish very good infrastructure in the country that would allow the common farmer, the small-scale tea farmer, the small-scale coffee farmer, the small-scale macadamia farmer, to aggregate their products, grade it, help them to have it graded into quality standards, and then access this market. So when payment is done from this side, we need to be sure what is the percentage of that payment going to the farmer. In most cases, you might find only 20% goes to the farmer, and the rest is financed here in between. That is not correct. What we want to see is the bigger percentage going to the farmer, and the logistics in between here takes a smaller percentage. And that is really the honors we have to do by the relevant authorities and ministries in Kenya to ensure that this logistical arrangement does not consume more and make the farmer really look like he's not the owner of the product.
And finally, Balozi, what is your message to business traders that are seeking to enter the Chinese market?
As an entrepreneur in Kenya, what I want to tell them is that there is a huge market in China. What you only need to do is be aware, establish, be focused. If your business is to export avocado, procedure from A to Z, avocado is exported to China. What are the requirements? So that, and how do you get your products? Because as I said, it's not possible to produce enough for export to this market. So if you want to export avocado, for example, make sure your sources in Kenya are reliable and consistent. Say that you don't bring 2 or 3 containers and that will be the end of it all. You will definitely lose your market here because people here need consistency. So you need to look at your value chain, say that it is clear from where you begin, from where you, up to where you sell your products here in China, and make it consistent, maintain your quality, know the procedure, and definitely you will succeed and benefit from this zero tariff arrangement.
Well, thank you so much, Balozi, for those insightful remarks on regards to the issue of zero tariff arrangement. That marks the end of our interview. We are coming to you yet again from the Kenyan Embassy at the People's Republic of China in Beijing. My name is Gladys Mungai, and it's bye-bye for now. Balozi, thank you.
Asante sana na karibu tena.
Asante, shukran.